The S23 Ultra, 6 months later. Let's talk about it. Now, I know some of you have had this, smartphone for a lot longer than 6 months, but just for me, I bought this in, I think it was in February, but it could have been a little more than 6 months. But anyway, I've had this for a while now, and oh, matter of fact, let me just say this. I actually had bought this, I think last year, and then I was having some major issues with it, and I had to send it back because it was just the screen kept freezing up on me, and I was just having all kind of issues, so I had to send it back. And I got another one, which is this one. Hasn't had really any major issues, but I gotta say I'm having two issues right now that are really annoying. Like they're not. Oh, I want to say they're not major, but I don't know. They're pretty annoying. So let me share those with you real quick. The first thing is the fingerprint sensor. Now the fingerprint sensor it's a really good fingerprint. It's the best fingerprint sensor that I've used on a Samsung device. It's really fast. You see how fast it comes on? It's just really just tap and go. And this is the fastest in-display fingerprint sensor I've ever used on a Samsung device. And it's very reliable. But I know it's not showing now, but I don't know, at least a few times a day, when I hit this fingerprint sensor, there is a delay. I mean, a 3-second delay. And I don't know where that's coming from. It's really annoying. I'll hit it and it'll acknowledge it, but then it'll stay on the lock screen for like 3 seconds before it opens up to the home screen. I don't know what that is. I've restarted this device and the problem is still there. And I haven't received any security updates recently. Everybody's still waiting on Android 15. I don't know why Google's taking so long to release Android 15. I don't know if that has anything to do with it, but I haven't received One UI 6.1.1. I haven't received that yet. I'm still on 6.1. Maybe it'll get fixed, with my next One UI update. I don't know, but that's pretty annoying because it wasn't doing that. A few months back, it would just tap and go, tap and go, tap and go, tap and go. Now, at least a few times a day, I'll tap it, and there's this 3-second delay, which I cannot stand. I cannot stand that. I don't have any device that gives me any type of delay when I hit the fingerprint sensor. So that's number one. Number two, I'm having a problem that I had with the previous S23 Ultra that I had. It's crazy, but it seemed like sometimes my screen just freezes. Like I could be literally on YouTube, which I'm on more so than anything else, and I'm watching something, then I want to scroll, and all of a sudden the screen won't move. And I'm like, and the screen will definitely not move. I don't know what that is, and then all of a sudden it'll start moving. Like, I cannot stand that. That is annoying. Like, why is my screen just freezing up for no apparent reason? I don't have that issue with any of my other smartphones except this one. I didn't have that issue with the Note 20 Ultra, the Note 10, all the notes I had. Now I can't say all the notes. Maybe the Note 4, with TouchWiz. I think everybody know how TouchWiz was back in the day. You had that horrible lag. But I'll say ever since the Note 9, I didn't have that problem. My screen never froze up like that. And it's just happening with this phone. I don't know what that is. And that was one of the big reasons why I sent the previous one back. So if you're not having that problem, that's great. But this is the second device I've had where I'm having that issue where my screen just completely just freezes up on me. And I don't know why. It's just quite annoying. All right. Other than those two things, the experience overall has been great. Okay. Of course, I love this big giant 6.8-inch quad HD display using a 120 hertz refresh rate, together combined, which is always nice. The battery life has been good. It's not, I can't say it's OnePlus 12 level because it's not. This will get me through a full day. which is, it's good, but I mean, for a phone calling itself an Ultra, honestly, it should get you at least 2 days. And it has a 5,000 milliamp hour battery. So, in my opinion, based on the price and the size of the battery, you should be able to get 2 full days. Okay, not a day. This is good for a day, but it doesn't give me any battery anxiety, but it should last longer than just a day. I got to charge this every single day. Unlike my OnePlus 12, which I only charge 3 times a week because I get 2 full days with that device with heavy usage. I'm talking almost 8 hours of screen on time. That's what this should be doing, the calling itself an Ultra, honestly. But performance, besides the freezing of my display sometime, it's been good. Everything pops open really quick. Everything's, it's pretty smooth. As you can see here, everything opens up pretty quickly. The banking app, my banking app is always like a couple second delay, but everything else pops open really, really fast. No issues, overall with the software. Everything is just fast and smooth. Honestly, I mean, the phone is a beast. It really is. I mean, it's my most used device because, like I said, I like Samsung software more than any other Android skin. It's my favorite software. Now, it's not the smoothest software, but when it comes to customization and all the things that Samsung gives you with their software, it's my favorite. And I'm going to be honest about that. But Samsung still has, to do better. They really need to make improvements. I'm not saying they haven't, but they need to make way better improvements than what they've been doing. They need to start innovating again. But anyway, the build on this device is great. Sometimes I'll rock it without a case, not, when I leave the house, but only when I'm home. I love the way the build quality feels on this device. It feels great. I like the thickness. I like the weight. This is not a light phone. I don't like light phones. I like phones with some weight to them, a little, I want to feel something substantial. And I love just how just big the screen is. Now, that's my wallpaper doing that. Now, I'm not going to blame that necessarily on Samsung. I'm using HD wallpaper, so sometimes there's like this delay before I get it don't do it all the time, but sometimes, I don't get my full screen. It will come on eventually, but sometimes this happens. But I don't think I think it's the app. I don't think it has anything to do with Samsung. But I just love how big this display is. Like when I want to watch movies on this, it gives me like a movie experience because it's like having a little TV in your hand. The speakers on this device are good. Sometimes, depending on what I'm watching, some things sound better than others. But overall, the speakers are great. I mean, they're loud. They don't have the best stereo sound. Like my OnePlus 12 has a better stereo sound, but these actually sound really good and they're very loud. So as far as that concerned, that's great. Of course, all the Samsung, software you get and, the edge lighting and the Samsung Pass and Samsung Pay and Samsung Dex and, secure photo, all those great things you get, and the customization with Good Lock, all that stuff has been fine. No issues with that. Of course, the S Pen, which I don't use a lot, but, it's nice to have it, when I do need it, because sometimes I do use it, but I don't use it, as much as a lot of other people out there probably use their S Pen. But I do like the fact that I have it in case I do need it if I need to do something precise. Okay, far as the charging speeds, of course, it's slow. I mean, it takes a little over an hour to fully charge this from, I think I got it down to 4% the other day, and I put in a 45-watt charger. It's official. Put it in there, and it took an hour and I think 3 or 4 minutes, which that shouldn't be. It should be under an hour, honestly. I mean, come on. It's just too slow, honestly. I mean, to be 2024 and to still be this slow, it's just too slow, Samsung. And the wireless charging is pathetic. 15 watts. I mean, 2 hours and 40 minutes. It's ridiculous. That's ridiculous. That is utterly ridiculous when I have a OnePlus 12 that can charge from 5% to 100% in 50 minutes wirelessly. That's faster than it's wired. So I don't like the charging speeds, whether wired or wirelessly. I think it's pathetic. The reverse wireless charging is pathetic at 4.5. I hate it. So when it comes to charging speeds, I hate it on this. I just hate it. But overall, this is a great device. It's still a great device to consider picking up. Of course, I know some of you still rocking your Note 9s and your Note 10s and your Note 20s. And I'll say this, if there's nothing wrong with them, if you're not having any issues with them, you keep those devices. Now, this is a great device to upgrade to if you decide to upgrade to it, because you're going to get a awesome display. You're going to get great battery life. You're going to get great cameras. Like, man, I just took some photos of my mom's 79th birthday a couple weeks ago. It took some phenomenal pictures, video. I mean, these cameras are great. Honestly, they really are. Now, I'm not saying the previous cameras on those other previous devices I just mentioned are bad, but these are great. They're very bright, vivid, clear, sharp. I mean, I love them. I love these cameras on this device. So have no issues with the cameras at all. Face unlock is still so like it's always been on Samsung devices. Other than, I don't know what the S24 is like because I don't have that device, but it's still mediocre. So the face unlock's not that great. But the display is absolutely gorgeous. Samsung, I gotta say, they still make the best displays on the market. They just do. I gotta give it up to them. But other than that, like I said, my biggest two issues, that delay with the fingerprint sensor and my screen freezing up. Other than that, the experience overall has been great. I really love this device. I really do. Still not my favorite device. That would be the OnePlus 12, but it's my most used device because of the software. Because I never take my SIM card out of this phone. Never. It just never comes out. And my main number is in this device. So this is my main phone that I use every single day, 365. But it's not my favorite. But it's number 2. But I love it. I love the Samsung S23 Ultra. I just hope one day Samsung really steps their game up, especially with those charging speeds. And also, it would be nice to get back expandable storage and a headphone jack. And adding an IR blaster would be nice too. But that's my experience, with my Samsung S23 Ultra after 6 months. Overall, it's been very, very good. Like I said, no major issues except those 2 I mentioned earlier. And like I said, I can recommend this to anyone that's looking to upgrade from the previous notes if you feel like this is worth the upgrade. All right, so thank you all for taking the time to view this content. I do appreciate it. I hope everybody out there is staying safe and staying well, and I'll check you guys in the next one. Peace.